Welcome to another edition of By the Numbers. I'm Pep Fernandez. This is EPJ, and it's Tuesday, so go out and buy your Press Enterprise. Read all about it as Eric Paul Johnson breaks down, looks like a lot of football in this one, By the Numbers. Let's go back to last week's question, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing by EPJ. Maybe you knew something was around the corner for mighty Centennial, but who was the last team prior to Long Beach Poly to hold the Huskies under 400 yards of total offense?
Yeah, like I had said, this is one of the most impressive streaks that I can remember out here, where Centennial had 44 straight games where they gained at least 400 yards. And prior to this past week against Long Beach Poly, the previous team to accomplish that feat was Chaparral during week 3 of the 2010 season. Of course, the amazing thing about that was Centennial still won the game 45-12. So even when their offense wasn't going, they still had a good chance at winning a game.
But, and I know a lot of teams that would take 301 yards of total offense.
Yeah, when we say 300 yards is a terrible game, yeah, that's
put in perspective.
That just shows how good Centennial's offense can be and is.
All right, they've got Alamany, right, this week?
So. Definitely, and they pretty much ran the ball down Alamany's throat last year, so that will be an interesting matchup to see if Alamany's made any adjustments there.
All right, moving on to another team from the land of the Big Eight, Roosevelt. Their quarterback, Joseph Muriel, already besting or nearly besting some of the stats he put up last year, and Roosevelt's off to a great start.
Yeah, we kind of wondered who was going to be the quarterback this year at Roosevelt. We had with Jacob Jordan transferring in from Summit, but Joseph Muriel's really, kind of grabbed that position and having a fantastic season already. He's over 800 yards passing, and he's got 13 touchdowns through 3 games. So he's already bested his touchdown total from last year, which was only 8, and he's got 13 already. And he's, quickly approaching his yardage total, and if he keeps on this pace, he would break Roosevelt's school record for both yardage and touchdowns, both held by Aaron Crone. Aaron Crone threw for about 2,300 yards and I think 23 touchdowns. So Muriel on pace for a big season. The impressive stat here is he's thrown at least 4 touchdowns in all 3 games so far.
These Roosevelt versus Santiago or Centennial games per se could be pretty exciting when we get to league play.
Yeah, I really, I still think Centennial clearly the #1 team in the Big Eight, but that battle for second place between Santiago, Norco, and Roosevelt, and who knows if King, obviously an improved team, the only undefeated team in the Big Eight league right now, that's going to be a great battle for those other playoff spots. And
likely high scoring with some of these stats that EPJ is dishing out. All right, now if you intercept the ball in the back of the end zone, I think a lot of players would just take a knee, right? Not Jacob Zinda from Temescal County. He ran it out, and the rest is history, right?
Yeah, he came down with a nice interception, and you kind of wondered if he was going to bring it out. And I asked him afterwards, what was going through your mind? He said the one thing that wasn't going through his mind was taking a knee. And, he came down with about a yard in the end zone, took a little step back, flirted with the back of the goal line. I think people thought he had actually stepped out.
Yeah.
But then once he found a little lane across that, left side, went through, picked up a few blocks, and 109 yards. A great way to celebrate his 18th birthday as well. And, breaking the inland area's record for longest interception return by 4 yards. 3 other players had held it. Dustin Oaks, Max Sherlow, and Danny Foster all had returned interceptions 105 yards. But not only did he break the inland area record, he broke the southern section record, which was 108 yards set by a player from Carpinteria back in the late 90s. So, definitely a great way. He had hoped that it would spark his team a little bit. They were down 21-0 at the time. He got him a brief spark, but Temescal Canyon couldn't quite.
Only touchdown of the game for the Titans.
Only touchdown of the game. That's Temescal Canyon still working out their offense. Haven't scored a touchdown offensively in 2 weeks.
And segueing into touchdowns, our question of the week for this week: which 3 players hold the inland area record with 8 touchdowns in 1 game?
Right, definitely. Right now, we saw Joseph Muriel threw for 5 earlier this season. That's the tops so far in the area this year for 1 game. But we have had 3 players in the inland area throw 8 touchdowns
recently
in a game. It's been kind of mixed. I'll say all of them have happened at least since 2000. And you might have to go to the 8-man level to get one of them.
See, I need hints. When you have your questions of the week, I need hints. All right, so that's By the Numbers. We will see you again next Tuesday, and EPJ will have your answer. I'm Pep Fernandez for Eric Paul Johnson. We'll see you next time on By the Numbers.